919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, and welcome to the Black Business Network, the network that talks about business owners, entertainers, entrepreneurs, and of course, always talks about business. I'm your host, Eric Kelly III, and it's always great when we get an opportunity to talk to you today. For all my Facebook Live people, want to tell you thank you so very much for the 30,000 people that were here for the Black Business Expo. And then for the 7,000 people who reshared it, that was also outstanding. We had some great speakers like George Frazier, Fran Harris, and the list goes on and on. Over 100 speakers spoke at the Black Business Expo, and we're going to be doing it again this year. We'll be doing it at the end of February. Before we get started, we'd like to say happy Martin Luther King birthday. His birthday is today, even though we celebrate it on the weekends. Today is his actual birthday, so happy birthday, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And now, with no further ado, I'd like to introduce our first guest. Our first guest is a young lady who's sung all around the country, sung all around the world with Gerald Levert, a young lady who's been doing some great things, not only in her life, but in the gospel, in gospel music also. With no further ado, I'd like to introduce to some of you and reacquaint her with others, none other than Coco McMillian. Hello, Coco. How you doing?
Hi, Dr. Kelly. I'm good. How are you?
Doing just fine. One of the things
Good.
before we get started, just wanted to go ahead and let people know, who is Coco McMillian?
Well, who's Coco McMillian? I'm a national gospel recording artist. Grew up in St. Paul's, North Carolina. Um, I went to Shaw University, Shaw U grad in criminal justice. Um, and then I just really went on to pursue my music career. It's a journey for Coco. I said Coco is a journey because I've done so much in the last 20 years with so many great people, and I'm so thankful that I had the opportunity to do that.
Now, when you begin to talk about your music career,
Mhm.
you know, who do you fashion your singing style behind?
I would say Aretha Franklin. I love Aretha Franklin. She's old school. Her craft is impeccable. Just the love of music. So I grew up listening to her music, and she's just a great inspiration. Throughout the years to me.
When you look at singers now, and we
Mhm.
have a lot of singers who use a lot of what I would call a lot of enhancements to make them sound sound good. You know what I'm talking about.
I do too.
Well, I'm sure everyone does. But talk a little bit about the style of singers that we have today. We hear a lot of singers that do a lot of runs, and then we have some singers who are just so sultry. You can feel them when they sing. Talk a little bit about what you see as a trend in singers, whether they're background or whether they're lead singers.
Um, I think what I'm seeing more of today, because of the millennium, music has really changed. It shifted. With the new artists now, they're more. I think their trending is more um, the hip hop, the urban, way of singing, and it seems like a lot of people is following that trend because it works and it's selling. Opposed to when I was growing up, or my past career, it was more old school. They got down and they just sung the song, even if it was a cappella. And it was the rehearsals and things like that. Now it's a lot of technology that's behind the music as well as the entire show. um, with the artists that I performed with, it was just straight hard work rehearsal and straight from, the mouth. It wasn't a lot of technology involved in it. So, it's a little different. And not saying that it's bad or anything like that. I'm just saying I can see the change.
Who are some of the people that you've sung with that have made a difference in your life?
Oh, wow. Well, first, of course, I would say Gerald Levert. Just singing with Joe Levert for 11 years, just watching him as an artist, an entertainer, um, and his dad, Eddie Levert. They're legends, and their work ethics was amazing. And so, just growing, coming up in the music business, being that was my first national artist that I performed with. It was just amazing how their work ethics was just work, 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 and we got it done. um, Another person was Aaliyah. I had a chance to work with Aaliyah for several years. It was great because she loved the music. This young lady had perfect pitch. That was the first person I really met that has perfect pitch, was Aaliyah. So she taught me a lot. And again, it taught me. See, with Gerald, you was more old school. The older crowd. With Aaliyah, it was young. So I knew how to kind of handle both. Being old school and also the young. So it was good. Mickey Howard, had a chance to work with Mickey Howard. She taught me a lot about just being as a lady, and she's old school, but being a lady, how to make it in the music business as a woman. So it was really great to work with her as well.
When you begin, when you begin, you may need to mute yourself when I'm talking.
Okay.
Sometimes that happens. When you look at, and I'll mute myself also. When you look at your career and the kinds of things that you've been able to do, and you talk about these three dynamic singers, Mickey Howard, Aaliyah, and Gerald Levert, when you think about you as a songstress, what are the kinds of things that you would tell young people who are looking at becoming singers?
I would say, no, handle your business. When I say business ethics, is when you with these artists, study your craft, study, you're not only, if you're a background singer, because that's what I did for a number of years, you're not only that background singer, you learn the background part and you learn the lead part. So it's just more of it, just being a background singer. So know your craft in music, learning all the parts, being knowledgeable about music, just being on the sideline. A lot of times when we would go to different shows or perform with people or just going to a show, we would just be on the sideline or backstage just studying people. You want to always learn, to make your craft better. Not saying copy them or anything, but just learning what works. Because with Gerald, I learned what works, with the audience and things like that. So I would tell the young folks to study your craft. If you love music and it's what you want to do it. Not everybody is a singer. When I talk about entertainment, you can be a musician, you can be, studio, you can write. There's so many things that you can do as part of entertainment. So it don't have to be necessarily singing, but whatever you do, be good at it because it's competition. So, you want to be different, unique, with your craft. So, study your craft and, just make it better than, average. I would say that.
Well, a lot of times people, when they become background singers, they don't know how to stay in their lanes, and sometimes they may step outside of their lanes
Mhm,
while they're background singing. Have you
mhm.
had any experience of that with some people that you've sung with, or have you inadvertently stepped out of line and didn't know you were stepping out of line and thought you were doing something that was supposed to be done? Has any of those kinds of things have happened? A lot of times we hear people talking about all the great things that happen to them in their career, but then
Mhm.
there are also some pitfalls.
Oh yeah, yeah. Two that I know. I know when I was doing background, and when I'm saying when you saying stepping out of line, this I didn't know because before I was a background singer, I was used to being in front, the lead. So coming as a background singer, when it was time to do our parts, and it was four girls, four of us, we're doing our part. You have to learn not to upstage anyone. So I was used to, being up front, being on stage. So I'm doing that. And so, the other singers, they have been there for a while. And that's one of the things they taught me. It's like you never upstage, a person. I didn't know that, coming into, something like that. So don't upstage the person. And the other thing is, be ready for constructive criticism. Be ready for constructive criticism. There was something, we had a show one night, and, we thought we were the bomb. We thought we killed the show. We got on the bus. Gerald was salty. When I say salty, he was like, yo, y'all come to the front. We came to the front. So he was giving each person what they were doing wrong. And when he told me the things that I was doing wrong, what he said to hurt me, but really helped me was, Coco, if you heard yourself, you would be mad at yourself. That hurt me more than knowing anything else, knowing that I like to, be, expert, in perfection. So, I would say those two things that, I ran into and had to learn from.
Well, when you begin to talk about that, that's one of the things I think a lot of times people are afraid to even talk about that side of the business, because when you are on the world stage and
Hmm.
everybody is looking and you're performing, sometimes you just don't know what you are actually projecting when,
Right,
when you feel like you're projecting the right thing. And then when you're coming into something new, sometimes people get upset and
right,
don't understand that it's more criticism to help you than to hurt
right.
you. Now, have
Exactly.
you, have you had that experience in talking to singers that you worked with since working with Gerald and Mickey and of course with Aaliyah?
Yeah, absolutely. With some of the young ladies that I sing with now, which is the the other three background singers for Gerald with the group called In Front. We run into that, all the time, even with other singers or amongst ourselves. We have to, just be aware because all of us, again, are lead singers and we all have our individual thing that we do. But coming together, you have to work together. You can't be, it's not a I and one person is together. So yeah, we have. But the good thing is that we're older now, to know about it and to recognize it and know how to handle it and resolve the problem.
You did mention called upstage. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you kind of talk a little bit about really what that is and what it looks like? And then I want you to talk about how does it make another person feel when they're being upstaged?
Okay. Absolutely. So upstage is when, say, if you and another person are on the stage and y'all doing a duet. It's time for that person to sing their part, and you on the other side of them doing runs or talk or whatever, or whatever that's a kind of a distraction. You may think it sound good because that's what you're doing, but it's distracting them and they're not able to do really what they want because they're listening to you. Or if they're finishing up their solo, you come in before they finish up their solo and take it over. How does that make them feel? Terrible, because I've been in that situation where someone has done that to me, and I've been in that situation again where I did it to the person, and they told me, afterwards, and I understood, I got it, but at that moment, I wasn't, I wasn't thinking. I just wasn't thinking. But it can really hurt a person if they're not strong enough, to handle it. It can kind of set them back where when they start to go out again, they may be a little shy or not to give all that they should give because they're afraid that somebody else is going to come in and upstage them or, whatever that situation is. So, you just really have to be careful with that and kind of know your place.
Let me unmute. What are some of the things? What are some of the things that you see in terms of your career now? We've had COVID-19, and many entertainers are not able to do work. And of course, if you're an entertainer, you want to be in front of an audience and you want to sing. What are some of the things that you're able to do during COVID-19 that's giving you that rush of being in front of people?
Well, most of the things that I'm doing now is on Zoom, of course. Through social media. And so that can be as far as, sometimes I do some shows with the girls and we just kind of get on and talk about, different issues or different things. Or we talk about music or we talk about the video that has come out. So with this that's happened, the new networking now really is through social media, to really expose, to get yourself out there and have an audience. I still do things at the church that's outside, of the church, not inside, but mostly a lot of social media, being creative, coming up with different ideas to do a show or um, to do a concert, things like that. So COVID has really, for entertainers, especially music, driven us to more of social media, just doing it over and drawing your audience from there.
Well, talking about social media and talking about being on a new and exciting platform,
Mhm.
I understand that you have an upcoming show. Tell me the name of the show and the kinds of things that you're going to be doing on your show.
Okay. All right. So I do have a show that's coming up thanks to you, Dr. Kelly. The name of the show is going to be called The Coco. The Coco Show, or Coco. And some of the things that we're going to discuss, I'm going to have different artists and entertainers, business people, entrepreneurs, just different, that I'm knowledgeable about, sports. So we'll come on the show and we'll talk about different things like that, church news and issues. So just really trying to set up something where I can kind of still communicate with the world through social media, talking about business, talking about education, talking about women, talking about music, and what are some of the things that we can do as Black women to help each other, or and musicians to help each other, and really just try to take it to another level.
Well, I think that you might want to mute
I'm
Coco.
sorry.
You might want to mute yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that is truly exciting. We're looking forward to that. Looking forward to your new show. Looking forward to the kinds of things that you're going to be talking about. As I understand it, you will be talking about entertainment, featuring singers and musicians. You're also going to be talking about world news. Some social media pieces, and then of course, what I think is just going to be outstanding. You're going to get a chance to kind of connect with your audience, and connecting with your audience should build your base of people who buy your products and services. So, that's always great, because I always say that we must begin to use the platform so that we can build our base and so that we can earn a living, because,
Right.
it's all about earning. And a lot of
Right.
times people don't talk about earning. So
Right.
talk a little bit about, as you look at your career, where would you like to be in the next 3 to 5 years?
um. Well, for the next 3 or 5 years, hopefully, depending on, we don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of years. Hopefully, the COVID would just kind of see some. But I'm really looking into just starting a whole new aspect of life. Still working on my music, of course, that's number one. But also branding out to work with young women. Working in the School of Art, so working with different young girls and young boys to start music. As far as education, how you can have relate business and education to music. And the reason why I really want to do that is because of the opportunity that I had when I was working in entertainment with Gerald. I was also working for IBM those 11 years. So I want to teach them that even if they're working in corporate America, how you can still work in corporate America and work on your career if you have a passion for music. So the next couple of years, I'm just kind of really focused on that, and just really broaden my horizon with a lot of things that I'm experienced with, and put them all together and just to help somebody else.
Well, I think one of the things that's very interesting, and you kind of hit on it, and that is that you were working at IBM and you had a music career, which means that many times, or you probably had to leave work an extra day, or you had to get on a plane and go somewhere, and you had to explain that to your boss,
Hmm.
IBM, who had hired you for a job. Talk a
Right.
little bit about how you work those things.
Well, the one thing I will say, first of all, it was the favor of God. Favor. That's the first of all. It was favor, and I had a team I worked with. I had an extraordinary team and manager, Bill Lawrence and Jamila Petit, and they understood when I came into the role of IBM, working in HR. They knew that I was in music. They did know that. The team knew that. So I did explain. I said, well, maybe sometimes, on the weekends that I may not be here, doing my music. However, I wasn't with Gerald. It kind of happened all at the same time. It's like when I started working with IBM, that's when the big gig comes with Gerald. I'm like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? I had to make a decision, and I did. I wanted to go with my passion, but I also needed a job, but I worked it out, spoke with my managers, my manager team, and told them about the opportunity. And they said, well, this is what you can do. You go and you can do your music as long as you can still help us to go do part time or still get your work done. So what I had to do now, it's on me to work hard. So when I finished my shows and everything on the road, I would go in my room, get on my computer and do my work. So having to do that that's how I was able for 10 years to still have my job at IBM and still, do my music. And the thing is, I wasn't gone for like a couple of weeks. It was the summer. We had summer tours. So it was 3 or 4 months that I was gone. But they still allowed me to, do my work. And that's what I did. So I was doing both. And so the balance, how do you balance that? How do you balance that? And the balancing is having everything on paper, knowing what you're going to do, have a time schedule, stick to it, report in and do, work as hard as you can to get things done. And, that's what I did. And I'm not saying it was all easy, but it can be done.
And that is one of those things that we call commitment to what you're doing and why you're doing it, and looking at how to make it happen in spite of an obstacle that surely could have went the wrong way. Because
Right.
a lot of times people need the job, but they also need the passion, because the passion makes them live.
Right.
And the job pays the bills, but the
Right.
passion makes them live.
Right.
And so that balance is a balance of life all the way around, no matter whether it's music, a
Right.
loved one, or whatever.
Right.
So
Right.
talk about were you able to have a love life? Were you able to have a business life and a music life all at the same time? How did that work out?
No. No, I mean, it's hard for entertainment, alone. It's hard because, when you're in a relationship, if they're not in entertainment doing what you're doing, it's kind of hard because you're constantly doing your music. You're constantly around people. You're constantly out front. And sometimes it can, take a toll on the relationship, male or female, because of the attention. So it was kind of tough. So I just kind of stayed. I mean, I had my relationship, but I just kind of stayed in the background and kind of focused on my career, what I was doing, with my career in IBM and my career in music. Because again, I was working on that work-life balance there. So then I had to go into think, okay, how my music, when I'm working for IBM, working with diversity students, trying to have them come and work for IBM, how do I connect music onto that? So when I hosted the interviews, I was set up where I was singing. So I was doing, so you start thinking of things that you can do to kind of, work it. And that way you would not be stressed out, because music is something that kind of is sensual and calm your nerves. And that's something you love to do. And so I just kind of work with that. But relationships, it's kind of hard unless you just kind of meet the right person and understand, what you're doing.
Well, working with people like Gerald Levert and Mickey Howard, and of course Aaliyah, I'm sure you haven't had an opportunity to meet some tremendous producers, some tremendous musicians, and of course some tremendous production people. Are there any people in that arena that you say has helped form how you how you attack, how you do music?
Um, Well, yeah, because you meet the when you're out with Gerald or the people that I worked with, you meet producers, you meet other musicians, and they're in networks and they're in different groups. So they kind of take you around, and when I started with them, I was young. I'm 18, 19, I mean, 19, 18, 19. So you want to be around those people so you can learn the what's and the whatnots. So it was great to be around great producers, Tony Nicholas, um, different people. So what they did was taught me how to write my music, or when I'm in the studio, things to do in the studios, and how to make sure your music is mixed right, and different things like that. So a lot I've learned, from people in the industry about all that. So that helps. That helps.
Talk a little bit about where do we go from here? Okay. You've been in the music business for over 20 years. Okay. And now COVID has hit. Now there's not a lot of gigs. So where did Coco go from here? Do you go to a space of being a lead singer? Do you go to a space of being a gospel lead singer, or do you go to a space of continuing to look at your opportunities?
Well, I think it's all of that. I'm looking to go and to continue in my music, of course, because I have my gospel career. That's my passion. I'm also connected, as I said, with a group called In Front. We are the background singers for Drill, and we're doing music. And I'm also looking, as far as my business, as I was saying earlier, starting the School of Arts and different things like that. So now with COVID, it really kind of drives you to be creative and, have starters to do new things because we don't know what's going to happen next. So right now, I have a coffee shop that's located in the Amtrak station. So I'm looking to hopefully when it opens back up to, branch out in that. So just have different things going for the revenue to come in because we don't know when it's opening back up to have shows in the arenas and different things like that. So I have to find things that I'm passionate about, love doing, that I'm experienced in as well, to kind of have the revenue.
Now, this is the Black Business Network, and the Black Business Network is about building an ecosystem for Black businesses, Black entrepreneurs to do business. Talk about the coffee shop. I know we didn't get a chance to bring it up, but that lines is another part of what you do. What is the coffee shop?
So I have a coffee shop located in the Amtrak depot in Cary, North Carolina, and what it is it's called um, Coffee Cafe with a K. So it was so funny. I had this little kid come up. It's like, you have coffee spelled wrong, but it's with a K. And so what I do is service Amtrak passengers and some of the bus passengers coming through the station with toiletries, with travel items, with pastries or candy, soda. So it's just like little travel items and things that I have to service them when they come through the train station. So it was something that it's been 4 years now. 4 years now since I've had the coffee shop. So it's been exciting. I really have a chance to meet a lot of great people that come through there on the train. And I remember, Eric, when I started this, when my pastor came and prayed over the shop, he said, "So let me tell you this, Coco. So this shop is not even going to be about the coffee. It's not going to be about you serving items and the food and things that's here, but it's going to be about your ministry." I didn't get it. But Eric, Dr. Kelly, I tell you to this day, every day that I was in that shop, there was always somebody coming up to me talking or, just telling me what was going on in their life. It was more of, like he said, ministry, networking. And it wasn't even about the coffee because people would just come and just want to talk, young girls or people having, problems. So I said, okay, that's what I'm here for. So I'm just excited about that. And hopefully pretty soon we'll get to open it back up and come by and visit, when you're in the Cary area, or just visit the website. We'll let you know when it reopens. But it's been very exciting since I've been there.
Well, when you begin to talk about entrepreneurship and being a singer and working for somebody, and then you begin to talk about the whole balancing situation. It's always great when you take the time, as my great grandfather said, that the number one thing in the world is to think, and which means that you've been a thought leader about all three areas, and now it looks that you're waiting to see where these things take you. So
Mhm.
I guess my next question to you, Coco, is this: when can we expect your YOUR? When can we expect your? You can call it CD, you can call it album, you can call it whatever, but when can we your?
Well, we are expecting my CD hopefully by the summer of 2021. I should have something out then. So just, keep praying for me that we get back in these studios and, get this stuff done and get the musician, because I love a live show. I love a live show. I think even meeting you, Dr. Kelly, I think I maybe went at one of my shows or things like that, because I mean it's been 20 years, I think, since I met you. Oh my goodness. Wow. Because you really helped me a lot with when I first came on the scene with my marketing tool. As even my the posters, the graphic, and just everything, everything. You were mine.
And you still have them. It's a testament
I,
to your commitment.
yeah, yeah. And funny, I've moved. It's been 20 years and I still have. Look at that. I don't know if y'all can see it, but look at that. See that? Isn't that awesome?
That was
Wow.
way back. That was
That's
way back.
that's baby Coco. Yeah, but that's when I first started.
And that's when I said I wanted to work for you. But that
Right.
again,
Uh,
you know you're my girl. You still my girl, no matter what.
but
I
we
just
still stayed in contact all these years. I would never, never forget what you done for me.
well, one of the things that I tell people all the time is you can't be on every set. You can't be on every show. You can't be everywhere. And I remember I was helping a lady with a toy store. And I met her, we were talking, and she said, well, come by the toy store and I want you to talk to me about marketing and advertising and all that stuff. So, I believe in getting paid. So I don't have no look, I'm not ashamed talking about money.
I know.
So I go by to her shop and we're talking and she's telling me she's having problems and this and that and this and that. And so I said, well, look, this is what you can do.
Okay.
And then I just broke it down verbally. I hadn't written anything down. I just did the verbal thing because I'm just talking right now. And so he said,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I want to do. And those things you're saying are things that we need to do. And yeah, I understand this, I understand that, and I understand this, and I understand that. Then she said, but I don't have any money. And then I said, well, give me a call. We'll have some money, which was fair. I've given you all this free stuff. I charge $2 hour. I've given you the free stuff. Now,
Right.
if you want to use it, you can use it. But if you want me to work for you, then you need to pay me.
Right.
And so
That's
it
fair.
was 10 years later that I saw her in passing. And she said to me, she said, if you have some time, I sure wish you would come by my store. I said, I'll come by. And so I come by her store, and the first thing she says to me, she says, I just want you to come by my store to tell you that you never sent anybody to my store, and you talk all that stuff to me, but you just didn't never send me any customers. And so I told her, I said, I run an advertising agency. My job,
Mm-hmm.
if I was a doctor, or if I was a lawyer, if I was a football player, basketball player, then I would tell everybody to come to your store to buy toys. But this is what I do for a living. This is how I make my living. And people sometimes, and I'm sure you get it too, you're a singer. And this is why I wanted to bring that story full circle, and then I told her that it took me 10 years of doing other things just to get back to you. You understand what I'm saying? People sometimes don't get that part because it's all about them. It's me, 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 but they don't understand that other people have lives and they're doing things also. So I'm out making money for that 10-year period I ain't seen you. It took me 10 years to get back to you. Now, do you have any money? And she said, I still don't have any money, right? And I said, well, then why did you want me to come by? You still don't have any money, because I'm still not going to do it for free. That lady went out of business. She was the only black toy store in Durham, the only one, and she was on 9th Street. And
Yeah, yeah.
and she was on the perfect street in the
Yeah.
perfect place, and all she had to do was spend probably about $300-400 with me, and I would have had her lands. I mean, $300. I can call. I got 4,000 people on my phone. I got
Right.
4,000 people on. You paid me $300. I would have been calling them people on my phone saying, there's a black toy store right here in Durham on 9th Street. We as
Yeah.
folks
Oh
have to
yeah.
begin to look at,
Yeah.
the value of,
Yeah.
as my grandmama said, she said, if you don't value your value, then your value won't be valuable.
Right.
You heard what I just said? If
Yeah.
you don't value your value, then your value won't be valuable. So talk a little bit about it. You being a singer and people always trying to sneak in you to sing for free, trying to convince you that you getting exposure. You've been on the world stage now. We're not
Mhm.
talking about downtown Durham. We're not talking
Right.
about Apex. We're not talking about Hillsborough. We're talking about you're on the world stage, but then they still try to sneak in the back door and try to
Right.
get you to do something for free. Talk a little bit about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and that's tough. And that's happened to me so many times. And I think that has probably been one of my biggest downfalls of not knowing how to say no. And at the end of the day, I'm suffering for it because something is getting cut off because I didn't ask them for the right amount of money, or I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna do it to help you out. Because again, it's all about them. Once you get it done for them and it's done, they're okay. But then you have to go and figure out how you're gonna pay your bill when they knowing that this is what you do. This is what I do. And so it's hurt me a lot because I said, well, okay, I'm gonna help them out, or I'm gonna do this. But then you get to a point where you get angry and you say, I'm not doing it anymore. And when you tell them no, then it's like, oh, well, they think they all that, or what they think. I'm like, but how is it you can pay somebody else, Yolanda Adams, to come here, all this money? I'm doing the same thing. Now, I love Yolanda. I'm just, throwing out an example.
It's an example.
Just an example. Yes, totally, because that's my girl.
Let's be
Just an
clear.
example.
Because you know how that can go.
I know.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, just an example. Yolanda's my girl. Maybe I should say they bring another artist from out of town, pay them all this money. I'm here, but they don't want to pay me the same thing or, close to it. And I may stick around longer and talk to the people and conversate and, because some people it's all about the money and they gone. But me with my personality, I'm more, personal and talk to them. And I'm like, well, why I don't get the same respect? It's because they know you, so they want to deal directly with you to get half price or get it free, or say, well, I want to get you to come on and talk about, this and that. But when I get on the show, well, can you sing 2 songs? You know, but that's not what we discuss. And you come on now. And so they already have in their mind when they ask you, but you're misled. So it hurts. It makes you angry. It makes you bitter, and then it makes you and it's that's why I advise sometimes, having a manager helps me or helps to take the load off of me, or PR person, because I'll send them now directly to them. They have a problem with that. Well, why do I have to talk to your manager? Because I know I'm gonna say yeah, and I can't say no. But this person, they're not going to be looking at it. They're going to be looking at, they're trying to have my best interest. So they want to make sure that I'm eating. You understand what I'm saying? So they're going to have my best interest to make sure that I'm getting paid, what I'm supposed to be. So I would say, even with that, make sure you know your worth. You make sure you know your worth. You've been doing, you talk about experience. Experience is a good teacher. And when somebody have the experience and they're going to do a great job, and that's to people out there that's booking people, go ahead and pay them. Take care of them, because even with, our community, we need to help each other. We need to help each other to get ahead. And the way to do that is to come together and, just make the person, make them feel like they're worth it.
Well,
Don't take advantage of them like that, and continue to keep doing it.
well, one of the things and I'm glad we're having this part of the conversation, because this is the part of the conversation a lot of times people don't talk about. I'm an artist. I draw and I paint, and that's what I do. And you know, as you can well see, I got my hat on tonight. I got my paint on my shirt. So as soon as we're done, I'll be back on the canvas. And I remember when I was in high school and how the girls used to try to get me to do stuff for free. And I found that once somebody get something from free from you, that's the last time they're gonna talk to you. So my great grandfather used to tell me all the time. He said, if it's worth doing, it's worth somebody paying for. And he told me that at 10 years old. And so I find that what you're doing in terms of having a manager to be the buffer, you understand what I'm saying? But when you're a woman, people really think that they can kind of get the soft side of you to get you to say yes, because I got all these people out here and here you are.
Right.
As opposed to with a guy like me, it's like, excuse me, free. Come on, what are you talking about? A free picture, baby, honey. I like you a lot, but a free picture that I painted, you don't have no money, you don't have no picture if you don't have money.
Right.
And this is something when you said earlier, and I think people need to pay attention to this. When you said you just need to go ahead and pay people. And in our community, that's one of the things that we need to work on, because at the end of the day, it's your time, it's your talent. It's just like a restaurant.
Right.
We will fly all the way to London.
Right.
Go to Paris.
Right.
Sit down in a restaurant and then give us some little leaves and a little bit of piece of meat.
We happy.
And we'll pay $200, $300, $400, $500 for that little bit of plate and be as hungry as a dog. Let's go to McDonald's and Hardee's after the fact.
Right.
Then we will walk into a black restaurant who, in fact, the recipe that they're utilizing to cook the food that they're preparing for you is handed down 10, 20, 30, sometimes 50 years.
Right.
And then they'll give us a plate, too much food, and then we won't even pay them $7.
Right. Or we're there at the restaurant. They don't want, if it's say African American, waitress, or they don't want to leave them a tip. We got to do better. We have to do better.
Stop. A friend of mine I was talking to the other night, and I was telling her that when I was living in Miami, I met this guy who owned the Fat Daddies, and if you been to Miami, Fat Daddies is a liquor store during the daytime and it's a club at night, and so it's a real exclusive place. So it's not one of them holes in the wall. And so I met this guy, and we became good friends. And he was the manager of the place, and he told me, come down anytime. You can come in free, blah, 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 blah. I said, cool, not a problem. He gave me a gold card and the whole nine. So I would roll down to the club, and I'd be in there jamming and I told her, I said, but one thing that I would always do is I would talk to the waitresses, and I would talk to them, and I would say stuff like, you ain't got tipped tonight, here go $10. You ain't got tipped tonight, here go $5. You haven't got tipped tonight, here's a couple of dollars, because I understand, and we all should understand that people are not getting paid for these menial jobs, but that don't mean that they're menial people. That means they're out there working for themselves. I'm getting in free. I'm drinking free. I'm eating free. I'm Mr. Free. So why is Mr. Free still gonna walk around there and look at you and say, sorry, I can't help you.
I can't help you. Right. I don't understand it. It's like and the power that we have, we're smart, we're ambitious, we're spontaneous. Just think if we will all kind of come together and and help each other, or when you paying, respecting people's craft and their business. You understand what I'm saying? Just respecting it. It would be so amazing. We would be so much further, I think, in life, and we won't be so angry and bitter and about a lot of things. We just don't want to do or don't want to pay. I don't want to pay them because they're a woman just like me, or they're a man just like me, or but that's the thing they do. You want them to do a service for you. This is a service, and this is how I feed my family.
And then the other thing, not only is it a service, not only is it a way to feed your family, it is a profession that you have experience in.
Right.
And mind you, now, what's the difference between a singer that comes on stage and know the words and a singer that gets on stage and don't know the words? What's the difference there? You're actually paying for really this is what people don't understand. This is why when I tell people I charge $5,000 for my pastels and I charge $10,000 for my paints, this is what they don't understand. I done spent over if you say 10 years old, I've spent over 50 years perfecting my craft. I spent over 50 years learning how to create what I'm creating so that
Right.
when you see it, it's like,
Right.
oh, wow, I like what you did.
Right.
Not just because I can draw with my hands does not necessarily mean that I can put something there that you're gonna like. Because I remember I drew an eagle for from a guy at North Carolina Central. I was the publicity chairman for the SGA, and he said, "Well, look, man, I need an eagle done for my class." I said, "Ain't no problem, baby. He the president. I'm the publicity guy. I'll hook you up." I'm thinking, I'm thinking that he gonna take that design that I give him and just do it for his class, just for T-shirt, right? In those days, you had to take the design to the student union, and then the student union would get the design made for your T-shirt, and then they will order the T-shirts, and then the T-shirts would come back to
Oh,
you.
okay.
That was the old way, right? We got a whole
Right.
different now.
Right.
You know that when I went home, I done gave him the design. This is pre copyright in it's my thing, it ain't yours.
Right.
North Carolina Central took that design and put it on T-shirts, on license plates. I got a plaque right here on my wall that I kept. On plaques. When I came back to school, you know how I think I was a freshman. This was my sophomore year. You know how you go in the student union to get your stuff,
Right. Right. Right.
I walked in there and my design was on everything. Now we're talking about a mad black man. I ran home and told my mom,
I know you were.
I'm doing this, I'm doing it. And my mama said something to me that I will never forget to this day. First, she said, "You are on art scholarship. Okay, so pretty much they own everything that you draw." She broke that to me. But then she said the thing that I think a lot of artists, a lot of people don't get. And I got this early. She said, "You didn't even know if people would even like what you drew and that it was marketable."
Right. Right.
Now that's power right there now.
Yeah.
Irregardless of all the other stuff, when was I going to get a chance to draw a design and put it out there and then somebody pick it up and then they put it on everything and then they market across the whole university and the whole city? When was I going to do that? I think that's what happens sometimes with us when we're I always say thinking small and not thinking about our value, because that one thing that happened to me in college made me understand, okay, when you draw something, you need to get it copywritten.
You need to get right.
I never would have learned that lesson.
Right.
And it could have been after I got into the world and created something that was bigger than a T-shirt design.
Right.
Okay? So now that you get where you are as a singer and you're singing songs, it is just as important as you as an artist for people to understand how valuable that thing that you have called your voice is.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And because, and I think when people look at it, or just a matter of respecting the instrument or the craft, the voice is the instrument. So it's the craft. So they say, well, you don't have to do anything but sing. No, it's more. It's more to that than being a singer. I mean, much more. It's things you can't eat. It's things you can't do. It's about taking care of your body. And do I do it all right all the time? No. But it's doing all those things and being prepared for your show, studying the show, rehearsing for this. It's so much that's involved. And when a person takes all this time to do that and prepare a show, a performance, or whatever for someone, it takes a lot. It doesn't just start when they get there. It starts days or weeks before. So when they ask for a certain amount of money, you got to keep all of that in mind. You know, when you're thinking about that, because it's more than just getting up that day to perform. It's your voice again. It's your instrument. You know, so you always have to take care of that. You had said something earlier about what they did, and I thought about when my album came out. Well, my album came out. I'm not gonna say what city or anything it was in. So I wasn't there, but it was my sisters, and they was at a flea market, looking at different things, and they saw my CD. Right. Well, we knew it wasn't the CD from the company, so somebody had. You
Dubs.
understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So she approached the person. She held it up and approached the person. She says, "So where you get this from?" And he's like, "Oh yeah. I'm selling. But do you know who this is?" "Yeah, I know who it is. I know who it is. But do you really know who this is?" "No, I don't know her." He said, "But this is not right what you're doing to this person." And do you know what he said? I
What?
have to make a living too.
And
So that's basically telling me I'm gonna go, get your music and bootleg it and to make it because I gotta make a living too. Basically, he said, "You better be lucky I chose you."
you know what? I'm gonna tell you. I know we telling war stories, but I got one even better than that. This will mess you up. I was in my car, right, and I was in Harry, and I put a box of my prints on my car. Okay, and I was some kind of way I was in the Harry, and I drove off. And the box, and I ain't never saw the prints. They was in a portfolio. Okay, they gone, right? I'm gone, right? I'm going about my business. Okay, so I'm from Durham. So you need to do something to Eric Kelly in Durham. Somebody gonna tell me. So one of my boys called me on the phone. He said, "Man, you been over there to the flea market over there by the Hayti Herd Center lately?" I said, "No, man. What's going on, man?" He said, "You got prints over there, don't you?" I said, "No, I ain't got no prints over there." He said, somebody's selling your prints over there. They done took a Sharpie, a magic marker, and marked your name out and put their names on the print.
I'm telling you. Oh my God, that was funny.
Do you know this is the kind of guy I am? And I was hot.
I know you were.
But sometimes you got to think when you hot.
Right.
I went over there and told the guy, I said, "Look, man, let me buy all them prints for you." He said, when I walked through the door, he said, "I know who you are." I said, "I know you know who I am." I said, "Let me buy all them prints." He thought I was gonna be like,
right,
"I'm gonna kick your butt."
Right.
It's not that serious, even though it is serious.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, if I had to roll up in New York City and they was, in New York, it's not gonna be just them prints.
Right.
We don't printed them. We don't went somewhere and printed some more. And
it's on every block.
We print the right one. We talking it. And what you want to do about it?
What you want to do about it? Right.
I went in there and I said, "Look, man, just let me buy all them prints, man. You found them for me. What you want me to pay you?" So he let me pay him $20 for my damn prints. I'm like, it's we, not just us as a group, because sometimes we point the finger at black people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A thief is a thief is a thief is a thief. A thief ain't got no color.
Right, exactly.
So one of the things that I'm glad that we had a chance to talk about is because we have to begin to understand that taking somebody else's stuff and making a profit off it takes away from them, but it really takes away from that person's character. It really, because if you can take somebody's stuff and sell it, that means that you can get your own stuff and sell it.
And sell it. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
Right.
that's not the thought process of the person that's doing something, because what they don't realize, they're just as smart as we are.
Mm-hmm.
You and even smarter sometimes, because not only can they recognize a product, they can actually sell it and make a living. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's something that a lot of times people don't. I give you another quick one too. My boy in Charlotte, John P. Key. John told me one time. John said he went somewhere and he saw his CD, and the guy, he was talking to the guy. The guy didn't even his face is on the CD, right? The guy didn't even realize that it was John. And John said, "Yo, where did you get this CD from?" And the guy went to talking and got to talking and told him where he got the CD from. And now you talking about John P. Key now. You ain't talking about no Eric Kelly, no Coco. We talk about what and
Oh my God.
laughed and laughed. Because people sometimes they don't realize that
Yeah.
they're hurting somebody else in the name of money. And
Right.
you know, that was just a good little rant. Now I know you got your show coming up, and I know one of the segments in your show is church news.
Mm-hmm.
And earlier you talked about the minister, you talked about your ministry at your coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
And what is church news going to be about on your show?
Um, well, I'll just basically talk about if there's something going on that particular week with entertainers, like um there was a entertainer that just passed, Miss Dorecia Pace from the Pace Sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to, during the show, I'll talk about different things. If there's someone that's passed in the show, or we talking about different pastors coming on board, talking about different issues. And I know one of the things when we talk about church news, I know one of the things I want to jump on is should a gospel artist sing secular music? So we're gonna have some different topics, and I want to get the pastor's view on it, and also secular artists and gospel artists. So just different things. When I say church news, it's just gonna be a variety of different things that we're gonna discuss.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. You might want to glad you brought that up because, and I know when I say this, a lot of people gonna laugh. I know they are, but I don't care if you laugh or you cry or whatever you do. It is what it is, and it ain't gonna change. The should I sing church music or should I sing secular music? I think that's a great topic because I remember, I used to sing in the choir and I sung with John Key and all these people, and I was one of those guys that, I said to myself, I'm not going to do secular music. I'm only going to do gospel music. And I be honest with you, I think that was something that was ingrained into me by my grandmother and my family. And it caused me, I believe, to miss out on a lot of things because I didn't understand that it's not the secular music that's in you, or it's not the gospel music that's in you. It's what's in you that changes the dynamic or what you can sing or what you can't sing. Talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. My pastor always says to me, it depends on who you're singing to. So me being a gospel artist, and that's something that I personally, talk and discuss with my pastor, because again, I was singing with Gerald for all those years, but on Sunday, I'm coming back when I come home, or I'm in church and I'm on the praise team. So, and you got to be careful. And I think with a lot of people, I know with me, it's about relationship, your relationship with Christ. If you know your relationship, doesn't matter what you're singing, as long as it's not out of order or out of character, you'll be okay. Because I felt the same way, Eric, as far as many years ago, saying, I'm not going to do anything but sing gospel music, things like that. I end up singing with Gerald. But here's the thing: when I started going to Morocco, they knew I was a gospel artist, But again, that's a different culture, a different language. They over there is a Muslim majority Muslim. So I'm a Christian coming over there singing gospel music. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to study and know what to do and what not to do. So, but when I go over there, singing, I respect their religion, and would not ever disrespect or say anything out of terms that would offend them, but also singing just music, just good old music, like your Patti LaBelle, like your Gladys Knight, your Aretha Franklin, those standard songs, My Funny Valentine. So it wasn't even about so much of what you were singing. It was the voice. It was the connection with me and over there was the voice. The passion in music. That's what they enjoyed. A lot of times they didn't even know what I was saying because they speak French and Arabic. But the feeling and the passion that you put into music, that's what they felt.
Well, I think one of the things that both of us can attest to, it is more to who you are,
Right.
and what's inside of you, and what is your intention.
Right.
Now, if you a gospel singer and you're gonna go and sing secular music and you're gonna get drunk and you're gonna hang out all night and you're gonna be sprawled out on the ground, going with anybody, doing anything,
Right.
that's a difference than you showing up on Sunday morning and acting like, last night I didn't smoke none of this, or I didn't. Everybody already know because they in the street too. They saw you.
Right. So they know. Right.
They
Right.
already know who you are. That's a different thing. And our young
Right.
people need to understand that just because you are doing secular music and you singing gospel music, that doesn't mean that you have to do everything that everybody's doing, because it's what's in you, not
Yes.
in what they're doing.
Exactly, exactly. And that was one of the things that I explained to them, even when they asked me to come. Some of the music, and I mean, I love love some of the artists, but for me and my character, if they asked me to do a song by Beyonce or something where I'm saying no. And there was times I said, no, there's nothing wrong with the song, but for my image of what I'm trying to portray, that's just not me. Love the song, but that's just not me. I will not do that. So you got to protect your image and just be careful what you do and not go outside that box too far out. And again, like you say, you show up, you drunk, you all this, and then, so because people are watching you, trust me. People are watching everything you do.
Well, I remember a friend of mine, James Stevens III. James wrote several songs for Vicky Yoy. And Vicky Yoy did, for those who don't know Vicky Yoy, she's a white entertainer who sounds black. And that's who she is. That's who it is. So you can go look her up. But there were words in the song that he wrote that she wouldn't say, even though it was a gospel. He wrote, some gospel music for her. And I thought about that and I said, you know what? Sometimes people, because I'm in advertising and I protect brands, you got to look at your brand when you're doing music, when you're doing art, and just in life, you got to look at your brand, because sometimes, your brand can take a hit that you can't recover from.
Right.
If you imagine people like Michael Jackson, you know, when we start talking about rehearsal and being a perfectionist and studying and knowing the audience, there is nobody who's ever entertained. Just my opinion. Other people can have other opinions. There's nobody who's ever entertained like Michael did. But because of some of the other things that was hitting Mike's brand, it really cost him probably a lot of more money because it hit his brand. And sometimes the young people don't understand that hanging out with gangs or being in the wrong place at the wrong time when they know they're in the wrong place, but they just want to see how it go.
Right.
Sometimes these things are the things that cause their brand to take a hit where they cannot earn the kind of money that they could earn by
Right.
having their brand being clean.
Right. Right. Yeah, definitely. You definitely got to be careful about that and protecting your brand. And again, sometimes you can't do what everybody else do. You can't go where everybody else go. Even though you want to or get out there and party or what, you can't do that, because again, your brand is you. And once you lose that, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to build it back up, or you have to restart over again. So you always want to be careful of your surroundings, or where you are or what you're doing, because again, people are watching. Just like social media is now, you never know who has a phone up recording you, because they're doing it now and you don't even know. So yeah, I think that's very important.
Well, I could talk all day, all night, but I have to get to your brand. How can people get in contact with you? You don't have to get a telephone number, but email would be cool, or your website, or your Twitter, or your any of your social media platforms. How can people get in touch with Coco McMillian?
Okay. For my email address, you can reach me at um, Coco McMillan Music at gmail.com. Again, that's Coco Macmillan Music at gmail.com. I'm on Facebook. You can hit me up there on my fan page at Coco Macmillan 1. You can also have my personal page there. Just check me out as Sean Coco McMillan. You can reach me on Instagram as Sean Coco Mac on Instagram. My website, www.cocomacmillan.com. On that website, you can be able to see some of my videos, all of my management information, and how you can reach me and how we can stay connected.
And I know you're not going to like this, but I'm going to do it
Uh-uh.
anyway. Would you would you repeat that information for those who had a pencil in their hand and
Oh,
could not get it all together and get it all down one more time for everybody?
okay. For my email address is Coco Macmillan Music. So you want me to spell it too, or just say Coco? COCOMCMILLAN. Music is MUSIC at gmail.com. You can also, my website is www.cocomacmillan.com. So that's my website. Facebook, you can just reach me at Coco Macmillan. It's all one word. Or on my personal page, Sean Coco McMillan, which is SHAWN, Coco McMillan.
Now, is there anything that you like to say to the audience before you get out of here? Anything you like to reflect on in terms of what we've talked about? Is there anything that you like to say to some young person who, for the very first time, is meeting Coco McMillan? And we talked about your 20 years in the business. We talked about your Aaliyah experience. We talked about your Mickey Howard. We talked about, for those who don't know, your background singing for over 10 years or 12 years with Gerald Levert. Is it anything that you'd like to leave with these kids and with people who are just meeting you for the first time?
Absolutely. I would just say for the young women and men that's want to do music or in the entertainment industry, I would just say to you to dream big. Dream big. Always know your craft, study your craft, trust in God. That's your number one thing. Trust in God. When man says no to you about something, God says yes. So you want to think about what you want to do in life. You want to pray about it and you want to walk down that journey. Walking down that journey is having God with you, because you need that strength, that power, because a lot of times you get down, you get depressed, and you get tired of people telling you no. So when I say dream big, don't let nobody stop you from doing what you want to do. I will say this: before, when I was working at IBM, when I was doing Gerald Levert's thing, I didn't have the much money and all the glamour things, but what I did, I sent a cassette tape of me singing a cappella to Dr. Bobby Jones. Okay, just the faith alone. I said, I don't know what's going to happen with this, but I'm going to send it. Just having the faith in, doing it, I sent the tape. He contacted me at work 3 months later. And he said to me, first of all, I commend you for sending the tape. If that's all you had, you did that anyway. I commend you.
That's
And
right.
he said, I'm glad I listened to it because now I want you to come on my show. That was it for me. That let me know that, it's unstoppable. Whatever you set your mind to, I know you may not have all the funding and the tools may not be right there in front of you, but try doing something. You're smart. The world is big. Get out and travel, learn. Don't just set yourself in a box, but be creative. Not only just music, be in the business aspect, be in, education, learn about everything because all that you can put all that in music. So, and for those that's just being me, I would say to you, I love music. I love what I do. I love education. I love being committed to whatever my craft. So going forward, I just want to encourage you. I want to challenge you to dream big from Coco. That's all I would say.
Well, we like to say to you as we get right at the 59, almost a
What
minute.
one more thing, Dr. Kelly. I'm so sorry. First of all, I want to leave this with you. Thank you for believe for believing in me 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
20 years ago because again, you need someone on your shoulder, pushing you sometimes if you get down to do what you need to do, making sure you get things done. 20 years ago when we met, we've stayed in contact. We don't have to talk every day but just that connection. And I thank you for believing in me then and believing in me now. Just because sometimes we don't believe in ourselves and we're so hard on ourselves and we need that push. And I thank you for thinking about me, considering me, even giving me an opportunity to do my own, my show, because you didn't know what was on my vision board for 2021. That was on my vision board for
Tell them.
2021. And out of the blue, he calls me on one of my weakest days. That's what I'm saying. You never know what a person is going through. So when you call me and mention this opportunity about the show, that's how I knew God is in control because you had no idea what I wanted to do going forward for 2021. And this was one of the things that I want to do. So I just wanted to thank you for just being a great leader, a great businessman. The Black Business Network is a great opportunity for business leaders. And I think you are amazing. And I know that you have a heart full of gold. Me and you, we go at it. We go at it sometimes, but
Don't
your
make me
heart
cry.
is
Don't make
full
me
of
cry.
gold.
Well, one of
So
the things,
thank you.
one of the things and thank you for that. And you're welcome. A lot of times people don't do the you welcome part. They hear the thank you and they be ready to talk. But I want to say you're welcome. But more importantly, people, I want everybody to understand you got to listen to what she said. She was planning her vision board. She didn't call me up on her vision board and say, Eric Kelly, this on my vision board. There are other things that you want to do, whether it's television show, whether it's to write a book, whether it's whatever you want to do. People don't know what you want to do unless you let them know what you want to do. Because when I call her up, I was calling her up because she one of my people. And I tell all my people, I'm calling y'all anyway. Irregardless of how you feel about it, y'all my people, I'm calling you. And when she said it was on her vision board, I turned all the way into warp speed to get her to
Yeah.
this particular point. And while there's fear, and I tell people all the time, there is no such thing as fear. Fear is something that's manufactured in your mind to believe that something's going to happen when you don't know nothing's going to happen at all.
Right. Right.
So you got to get away from that whole fear thing and not wanting to do something. When she says think big, you got to understand, when we came up with the Black Business Network, there were a tremendous amount of people who said it won't gonna work. And we did 30,000 people. We did 100 speakers and 30,000 people in 1 week, and it's still today doing a 24-hour network, right now. And ask yourself this question: why did it happen? Only because one person, not 10, one person thought big, and that was me. And you got to think the same way when you're doing whatever you're doing. She gave her information out. If you're a singer, you're a young lady, young man, you're a singer, and you want to know somebody that's been in the business for 20 years, they can give you some guidance and say, okay, you're getting ready to sign a contract. Did you really read the contract, or did you just want the car? Did you really read the contract, or did you just want to go to the strip club? Did you really read the contract? I'm going to say it again. Did you really read the contract? Okay, you don't understand what a contract is. Did you have somebody to look at the contract for you?
Right.
You know, and when I said the thing about the thing in college, look, that's the only time somebody got me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to go through stuff. But the question becomes, if you got people that are going through stuff before you, why are you not going to utilize them to help you get through the stuff that you got to go through anyway?
Exactly.
Well, I'm going to let you give your parting shot, and then we're going to get out of here, and I'll do a closing. Any parting shots?
I'm sorry. Was that again?
I said, do you have any parting shots before we get out of here?
No. Again, nope. Just thank you for this opportunity. For everyone out there, thanks so much for watching the show, joining the show. Again, dream big, think big, keep God first in everything you do. Everything. Everything. Keep God first in everything that you do, and know that the best is yet to come. There we go. You was rolling too.
Okay, let me do it again. And of course, I'm your host, Eric Kelly III, and you've been on the Black Business Network. And we have brought to you a young lady from across the world, across the country, right in your own backyard, doing great things. Want you to tune in so she can turn you on to the Coco show that will be aired on Wednesdays at 11 o'clock. And of course, for those who want to be guests on her show, make sure you got that email. Give her a call. She's going to be talking women issues, trend things that are trending, social media. Oh yes, the church news, and more importantly, she's going to talk about entertainment. She's going to talk about singers, dancers, artists all across the country. Make sure you tune in, because it's going to be great information for you and yours. You got EK3 from the south side of Durham, North Carolina, saying, yeah, without love, there's no happiness. And without happiness, there is no peace of mind. And then again, as I always say, what you're looking for is looking for you. And we'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye. Are we done, Mark?
From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business.